Hi everyone, Jessica here. Well, here it goes. I've talked about this in past videos, but I feel like recent events has called me to make another video addressing this topic again in more detail. Um, yeah, police are not our friends. They are not our friends. They are not there to protect us. Why am I saying this? Because Extinction Rebellion UK has made the news again with one of their chants, which is really, if you watch it, it's very drony, kind of creepy even, where they go, "Police are not our." Excuse me, what they say? What they said? We love you, police. We're doing this for our children. We love you, police. We're doing this for your children. In the video, you also see someone offering to give one of the police officers a hug. So there's a lot of problems with this. One being that police are there to protect the class society in place that is destroying the planet. Their job means upholding the status quo, means protecting the property and the power of the rich and the powerful, the rich. So there is no there's no changing that. Police have been on the front lines, the shock troops of the capitalist class when it comes to every single social movement that's happened in this country, that happens across the globe, be it the women's liberation movement, be it the indigenous struggle, black struggle in this country, the labor movement in this country, United States, that's where I reside. Not to mention just in the United States, but everywhere. They are there to destroy our movements, and they are there to make sure that we don't succeed, that we don't win. These are not people, this is not an institution that deserves our love or our apologies or anything like that. Two, it really does show the lack of care Extinction Rebellion UK has for folks of color that experience the violence of the police every day. Scotland did released a really great statement on their Facebook page talking about how it went into detail how there was a woman of color and folks of color who said, please can you not chant this? This is insulting, this is hurtful. And people go ahead and do it anyway. There seems to be a lack of care and concern for how folks of color might interpret that. Instead, they send flowers to the police. That happened. They sent flowers to the police, apologizing for their actions. I mean, it's just beyond gross and ridiculous. And it really it shows something which I could see from the very beginning of XR UK's actions, and that is that people of color are not the target audience of XR UK. They don't plan on having very many people of color involved in their movement. They talk as if they are an exclusively white movement at times within the UK. And it shows through their actions. If they cared, if they were really concerned about this, they wouldn't have dreamed of chanting, we love the police, or sending cops to the police, or being deferential. And this is the problem I have with aspects of how people engage in nonviolent struggle. Oftentimes, when people talk about nonviolence, you can be confrontational and nonviolent. You can be militantly nonviolent, engaging in struggle. I feel like XR UK is of that school of thought that nonviolent struggle means being deferential. It means being non-confrontational and non-threatening. And that's something I 100% disagree with. I mean, pacifists back in the day in the United States burned draft offices. Like, they destroyed property in major ways. Granted, then they also turned themselves in, which is something I disagree with. I don't understand that at all. But yeah, and now it's just been watered down to basically nonviolent struggle means calling the cops before you do an action and telling them everything about what you're doing. No, it's dangerous and it's not strategic. I mean, what you're seeing is the police knowing what people are going to do ahead of time in the UK and and um arresting people before they can take action. Now, repression is part of this work. Like, that's unavoidable, but if you're not working and collaborating with police, you're going to get a lot farther. I mean, I shouldn't have to say this, but I'm saying it. Yeah. So it's disappointing to see, but positive is that there is a lot of people who are speaking out against some of the tactics of XR UK and the ways in which they engage with the police. People are calling it out and calling out their total blind spot when it comes to race and colonialism. And I hear oftentimes people say, well, the police probably are different in the UK and the US than in the US. And while I don't doubt that's true, I also don't doubt for a second that the police in the UK, I don't doubt that they harass and they do violence to black folks, folks of color, and immigrants in the UK. The thing is, it's just the white people in XR, they don't have that reality, so they don't care. And, they're going to pay a price for not caring, and that means a weakened movement. That means a weakened movement, and it means failure for the movement. You're not going to win if you don't have colonized people involved in the struggle. You're not going to win if you don't have an anti-colonial framework. Because of all struggles, the climate struggle demands that framework. It demands a class framework. I want to mention, before I get into that as well, I saw a post recently, basically, saying it doesn't matter if you're rich or poor, black or white, man or woman. I'm like, no, these differences matter. And pretending like they don't matter and that they'll just go away, you're guaranteeing that they continue. You're guaranteeing that these systems of oppression in place are maintained because they are invisible to people for whom they do not impact. And that's why in the United States we found it so important to add the fourth demand around climate justice and reparations for Black, Indigenous, POC, and poor communities, and rights for the land and for the water. Because if we don't say these things out loud, if we don't address the inequalities that exist, we're just going to be spinning our wheels. So I know there's been a lot of pressure on them to adopt a fourth demand like the United States as well. There's been pressure on them to really, frankly, get their shit together and have a racial and class analysis of the problems that we are facing. So hopefully this video can contribute a bit to that. All right. Love y'all. Bye.